Bro, I get it. Trust me, I do. You've taken a step back, thinking that giving her space would make her realize what she's missing. You figured that if you distance yourself, she'd start to feel the weight of your absence, start remembering all the good moments you shared, and eventually reach out, realizing she's lost something important. But instead, crickets. No texts, no calls, no nothing. It's like you vanished into thin air, and she didn't even notice. No reaction, no change in her behavior, like you don't even exist. And now, here you are, checking your phone every few minutes, hoping for a message, for some sign that she's thinking about you, that maybe, just maybe, she cares. But there's nothing. Silence. I know how frustrating this is. You genuinely believed that by pulling back, she'd start missing you the way you miss her. You thought this silence would stir up feelings, make her reflect on the connection you shared, and make her realize she doesn't want to lose you. But instead of triggering the response you expected, it's leaving you feeling stuck and even more uncertain. But here's the cold, hard truth. Silence alone isn't the magic trick. It's not just about stepping back and hoping she'll come running after you. It's about how you do it, why you do it, and what kind of energy you're putting out into the world while you're giving her space. Because here's the thing that most guys miss. Simply disappearing doesn't automatically make someone realize your value. It's not about sitting back and waiting for her to wake up to how great you are. It's about making sure that when you pull away, she feels it. Right now, she doesn't feel it. And that's the problem. Silence is only effective when it makes her feel the void of your presence, when it creates a sense of longing in her, when your absence actually means something. If you're still checking your phone, still wondering what she's doing, still holding on to hope, then your absence doesn't seem like a loss to her. It's just a waiting game, one that she feels like she's winning. But don't worry, I got you. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate her into wanting you. It's about understanding how attraction and human psychology work so that you can position yourself in a way that makes her want to reach out, not because you're waiting for her, but because she can't help herself. This is about shifting your mindset from trying to get her back to becoming someone who stands out in her mind, someone she can't forget. Once you nail that, once you become the kind of person she can't ignore, you won't have to worry about waiting for her to notice you. She will, without a doubt. And when that happens, you'll have control of the situation, not her. So let's break this down. Point 1, stop being predictable. Make her chase the unknown. Here's the hard truth. Silence alone won't make her miss you. You can't just disappear and wait for her to have some magical moment of realization about how great you are. It's not just about pulling away. It's about how you do it. What kind of energy you're projecting when you do, and whether your absence actually creates a noticeable void in her life. If you're not careful, your silence could have the opposite effect than what you're hoping for. If she already knows your patterns, if she can predict exactly how you'll react, how long it'll take for you to text back, or when you're likely to reach out, then she won't feel the loss. Instead, she'll assume you're just out there waiting for her to make the first move. And guess what? That predictability is boring. It creates zero sense of urgency. She knows that whenever she's ready to reach out, you'll be there, and that means there's no real incentive for her to chase you. So, when you're just following the same script, she's not thinking about you, she's not missing you, she's not even wondering what you're doing because she's already got you figured out. Now, think about what happens when you flip the script, when you break the cycle of predictability, when she suddenly realizes she can't fully figure you out anymore. You stop being so easy to predict, and that uncertainty starts to create real curiosity. When she notices you're not sitting by your phone, anxiously waiting for her to text, when you stop reacting to her little breadcrumbs, and instead, you're living your life in ways that she never expected, that's when things start to change. Suddenly, you become a puzzle she wants to solve. You stop being just another option, and instead, you become someone she needs to figure out. That's when curiosity kicks in. Become unpredictable. Create an aura of mystery. Instead of just going silent and sitting around hoping for her to miss you, it's time to get proactive about how you go about it. Change things up in a way that catches her off guard. Do things that make her second guess herself and wonder, what's going on with him? Where did he go? Why hasn't he reached out? The goal here isn't just to go dark and make her wonder, it's to create a sense of mystery that pulls her in. You want to make her question her assumptions about you, not just your absence. Here's how you do it. Change your habits. If she's used to you always being available, suddenly become hard to reach. If you've always been the guy who replies quickly, take your time. Don't just disappear completely, just create some distance. When she can't predict when you'll text or what you're up to, she'll start to feel a little more uncertain. That uncertainty is powerful. Switch up your social media routine. If she's used to you posting regularly, stop posting for a while. Then, when you do post, make sure it's something unexpected, something that gives her a glimpse of you living your best life. Instead of posting sad or emotional quotes that hint at missing her, post something fun and intriguing. Show that you're out there doing your own thing, that you're not waiting around for her. Do something new. If she knows you follow the same routine every day, break it. Start a new hobby, go on a spontaneous trip, take up something completely different. The more she sees that you're changing and growing, the more she'll wonder what's behind it. People are naturally curious, and when you stop being the guy she can predict, she'll start to wonder why things are different. If you run into mutual friends, make sure they have something interesting and exciting to say about you. The more she hears about you living life in ways she didn't expect, the more it will get under her skin. Be elusive. Sometimes it's not about being absent all the time. It's about being there when she least expects it. A sudden message at the right moment, a subtle comment on something she's posted. Don't let her have full control of when you show up in her world. Let her start to wonder why she hasn't heard from you, why you're not the same guy she's used to. When she starts to realize she has no idea what you're doing or where you are, that's when she'll start to think about you again. The more she starts wondering, the more you'll creep into her thoughts. And when you're in her head, you've already won half the battle. That's when she starts to miss you. Attraction thrives on uncertainty and intrigue. It's the unknown that keeps people engaged. When a woman feels secure that she has you, when she knows exactly where you are and what you're up to, she has no reason to feel urgency. But when she begins to question whether she's losing you, when she realizes she's miscalculated your level of interest, her mind starts running wild. The more she doubts herself, the more she'll crave answers, and those answers will be tied to you. That's exactly the space you want to be in. By making yourself unpredictable and mysterious, you're putting the ball in her court. She'll start chasing the unknown, and that's when everything shifts in your favor. When she's chasing you, she's no longer in control. You are. Quick break. The course shuts down soon. Only a few spots left. You think you have time? You don't. Every second you hesitate, someone else is with your dream girl while you sit there doing nothing. If you want to get the girl you've always wanted, there are secrets you should know. And that's exactly what we provide. The truth they never taught you. The game they don't want you to play. You have two choices. Stay average and watch her over Instagram without her noticing your existence, or take action and learn the secrets that will change everything. This is your final shot to get in at this price. Next time, it'll cost you more, if there's even a next time. Winners move, losers lose. Click the link in the description if you truly want to change. Let's continue. Point 2. Level up while she's gone. Here's a reality check. Women don't just miss a person. They miss the feelings, the emotions, and the energy that person brought into their lives. Your absence alone might not be enough to make her yearn for you if you haven't evolved in the process. If she doesn't feel a real emotional void from your disappearance, there's no reason for her to feel the need to reconnect. And this is where most guys go wrong. They think that going silent, pulling away, and waiting for her to reach out will somehow work magic. But here's the problem. They don't change. They're still the same guy, sitting around, endlessly scrolling through old photos, hoping for a miraculous moment when she'll finally realize what she lost. But here's the truth. Why would she miss something that hasn't evolved? If you disappear but don't level up, if you don't become someone new, she's not going to feel like she's lost anything valuable. People are attracted to growth, to change, to someone who makes them feel alive, challenged, or intrigued. If you stay stagnant, if you're just waiting around hoping she'll come to her senses, then you're not creating any emotional space that would compel her to miss you. But here's the game changer. If you truly shift your energy, if you become someone who's magnetic, purpose-driven, and living with passion, she'll absolutely feel that change. You won't need to say a word because your transformation will speak volumes. The best part? This isn't even about her at first. This is about you becoming the kind of man who demands attention, respect, and admiration without even trying. Take a hard look in the mirror and ask yourself, were you exciting to be around? Were you challenging? Were you the kind of man she could look up to, admire, respect, and feel drawn to? If your answer is no, then that's the issue. She's not missing you because your presence wasn't associated with growth or excitement. It wasn't creating deep emotional connections that made her want to hold on to you. And that's where the shift needs to happen. The key here isn't about self-improvement just to get her back. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally draws people in, including women. It's about becoming the kind of guy who doesn't need to convince anyone to want him. His energy alone makes him irresistible. The moment you focus on becoming a version of yourself that is unshakably confident, exciting, and driven, the world will take notice, including her. So, how do you do this? Start by picking up a skill that excites you, something that fuels your passion. Maybe you've always wanted to learn an instrument, master a sport, or dive into a new business venture. Whatever it is, choose something that gets you fired up and pour yourself into it. That energy, that dedication will not only make you feel more alive, it will make you more attractive. And don't just hit the gym, transform. Work on building real strength, both physically and mentally. Focus on discipline, confidence, and building a body that you're proud of. There's nothing more attractive than a man who radiates power, self-control, and command over his own life. Women are drawn to men who have control, not just in their bodies, but in their lives. Expand your world, travel. It doesn't have to be far. Start by exploring new places in your own town. Break out of your comfort zone and start networking, meeting new people, and surrounding yourself with influences that challenge and inspire you. Make your life bigger than her, bigger than any one relationship. Start living as though you're the prize. Stop acting like she's the only woman in the world. Start acting like you have options, like you're worthy of admiration and attention. The moment you genuinely believe you're the prize, when you stop seeing her as the centerpiece of your universe, she will feel it. She'll sense that you've elevated yourself, and it will be impossible for her to ignore. At some point, whether by accident or design, she'll catch wind of your transformation. Maybe she'll see a photo of you looking different, stronger, more confident, happier. Maybe mutual friends will casually mention how you've been thriving without her. She'll hear about your new ventures, your new energy, and that's when doubt will start creeping in. She starts thinking, wait, did I misjudge him? Was I wrong about him? How is he doing so well without me? And that's when the shift begins. Not because you begged or pined for her, not because you went silent and waited for the universe to take care of things. No, she'll start missing you because you've evolved into someone she can't ignore. You've become a man who's unshakably confident, and that's the kind of man she'll want in her life. Point 3. How to make her feel. Your absence. Silence shouldn't just be the absence of words. It should be the presence of transformation. A lot of guys mistakenly believe that simply going quiet will immediately make her realize what she's lost, but the truth is, it doesn't work that way. When someone is used to receiving a certain level of attention, they subconsciously expect it to continue. It's human nature, so when you go silent, she won't panic right away. She'll assume it's just a temporary phase, that eventually you'll reach out and that you're still in the same emotional space, waiting for her. But here's where the real power lies. The moment the usual rhythm is broken, when she starts to realize that your absence isn't just a temporary tactic, but a shift in your actual energy, that's when her mind begins to fill in the blanks. And that's when the game truly begins. Most people assume that when you go silent, she'll immediately notice your absence and feel a wave of regret wash over her. In reality, it takes time. Initially, she might not care at all. She may even feel a sense of relief, thinking she has all the space she wanted. She'll go about her daily routine, free and unbothered, convinced that nothing has changed. But here's where things take a turn. As time passes, an emotional echo begins to form. She might hear a song that reminds her of you, pass by a place you two used to visit together, or stumble upon an old picture. In those fleeting moments, something subtle starts to shift in her. A thought creeps in. I wonder what he's doing. It's a passing thought, nothing urgent, but it's there. And that thought is like a small seed planted in her mind. It doesn't sprout immediately, but it's there, quietly growing. Soon after, maybe out of curiosity, she checks your social media, expecting to find the same old you, the guy still waiting around, looking sad or lost without her. But instead of seeing that version of you, she sees something completely different. She sees a man who is alive, a man who is confident, a man who is out there, living his life in ways she didn't expect. Maybe you're traveling, hanging out with friends, doing exciting things, or looking happier than ever. The key here is that you're not sitting at home, pining for her. You're thriving, and that's when the emotional void truly starts to take shape. This is why patience is absolutely critical. You're not trying to light a firework and get an instant reaction. You're planting a seed, one that slowly grows over time. At first it's subtle, a passing thought, a flicker of curiosity, but the longer she goes without knowing what's going on in your world, the stronger that feeling becomes. She'll begin to wonder more and more about what you're doing and why she hasn't heard from you. As the days stretch on, the absence of your presence begins to weigh on her mind, creating an emotional space that she didn't anticipate. And then, one day, it hits her differently. It doesn't just feel like an echo anymore, it feels real. She starts asking herself, why isn't he chasing me? Why is he so calm? Why does he seem better without me? That's when the shift happens. That's when she truly starts to miss you, not just as a habit or as a comfort, but because she feels your absence in a way she never expected. She'll feel a void that she hadn't prepared for, and that's when doubt begins to creep in. Did she make the right decision? Did she misjudge your level of interest? Was the connection really as strong as she thought it was? But by the time she's questioning all of that, you're not the same guy she used to know. You've leveled up, you've grown, you've transformed into someone who's no longer just waiting around for her to decide. You've become the man that other people, including her, can't ignore. And now, she's the one questioning whether she made the right choice. The dynamic has shifted, and it's no longer about her keeping you in her orbit, because you've become someone she has to chase to be a part of your world. When you master the art of absence, it's not just about what she doesn't have, it's about what she wants back, and that shift in desire, that's when everything changes in your favor. Point 4. Let go and watch what happens. There's a massive difference between wanting someone and needing them. When you need her validation, when you're desperate for her attention or approval, she can sense it, even in your silence. That neediness, that undercurrent of emotional dependency, isn't something you can hide. It leaks out in subtle ways, from the way you check your phone constantly to the energy you give off when you're around her. And guess what? That neediness doesn't make you more attractive. It repels her. But when you cultivate true emotional detachment, when you let go of any desperate attachment to her, everything changes. She starts feeling your absence in a way she never expected. It's not just about being quiet or distant, it's about genuinely being at peace with or without her in your life. You reach a place where your happiness isn't tied to her approval or presence. You're good, regardless of whether she's around. Here's where most guys mess up. They use silence as a strategy to win her back. They think that by pulling away, they'll make her realize what she's missing. But the problem is, if you're still obsessing over whether she notices or not, that energy becomes obvious. The moment you're consumed by wondering if she's thinking about you, you've already lost. That need for her attention is exactly what kills the power of your absence. So, how do you truly detach? It's simple. Shift your focus completely off her and onto yourself. You need to start living a life that's fulfilling, engaging, and exciting. Focus on building the life you want, not the life you want her to be a part of. Be the man who's so busy with his passions, so invested in his own growth, that she fades from being the center of your universe. When you do this, it's like flipping a switch. Once you stop making her the focal point of your existence, she feels it. She starts to wonder, did I make a mistake? Did I underestimate him? That's when attraction starts flipping in your favor. She starts questioning her own choices. The shift is subtle but powerful, and the best part, You don't have to force it. When you genuinely start living for yourself, the right energy follows. At the point when you truly let go, you're no longer chasing her validation, approval, or attention. You're just living your best life, and that self-assuredness is magnetic. She'll feel the pull of your detachment, and suddenly, the dynamic between you two will shift. She'll find herself chasing you, wondering if she missed something, and that's when the power is in your hands. Let go. Let things unfold. Because when you stop needing her, that's when she'll start wanting you, and that's when everything changes in your favor. Point 5. When she texts, don't mess it up. At some point, curiosity will get the best of her. She'll check your social media, ask mutual friends about you, or maybe even send you a message herself. It could start off small and subtle. She likes an old post, watches your stories more often, or casually texts you, "Hey, how have you been?" And this is where most guys completely blow it. The biggest mistake you can make here? Responding too eagerly. See, when she reaches out, it's a test. She's trying to gauge if you're still waiting for her, if you've truly moved on, or if she still has some level of control over you. If you immediately jump at the opportunity to talk to her, acting overly excited, or worse, pouring out all your feelings and being emotionally vulnerable, you instantly kill the attraction and undo all the progress you've made. You know what she'll think? Yep, he's still there, and I still have him. And just like that, you've lost all mystery, all intrigue. You've gone from a man who's hard to figure out to a guy who's just sitting around waiting for her to decide when to come back. Instead, you need to stay composed. Keep your response short, positive, and most importantly, intriguing. Let's say she asks, "What have you been up to?" Don't give her a full update. No long paragraphs, no unnecessary details about your day-to-day life. Just something simple but powerful, like, "Just focusing on some exciting things right now." That's it. No explanation, no follow-up, nothing else. You're leaving her with just enough information to get her curious. She'll be left wondering, what things? What's he doing? Why isn't he telling me more? This is how you flip the dynamic. The less information you give, the more she'll want to know. Suddenly, she's the one left feeling uncertain, questioning what's happening in your life. She'll start analyzing your energy, your responses, and everything you've been up to outside of her. And as a result, she'll start thinking, "Wait a minute, I don't know everything about him anymore. What's going on?" Here's the important part. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's not about being cold or distant for the sake of being mysterious. It's about shifting the energy so that she sees you as a man who is moving forward with or without her. A man who isn't sitting around waiting for her to come back. And when you maintain this approach, something powerful starts to happen. She starts questioning her decision. She begins wondering, did I make a mistake? Why isn't he chasing me? Who is he becoming without me? That's where the real power lies. It's not in what you say, but in what you don't say. It's not in trying to convince her of your worth, but in showing her that you're no longer the same person she once knew. You've become someone who's outgrown the need for her validation, and that's when she begins to realize that she might just be the one who needs to make a move. Point 6. The right way to reconnect. Alright, let's say she starts reaching out, or you find yourself in a situation where you could potentially reconnect. This is a critical moment, and unfortunately, most guys completely mess it up. Why? Because they either rush in too fast, eagerly trying to win her back, or they act too distant, pretending they couldn't care less. Both of these approaches kill attraction and can completely undo all your hard work. The key here is casual confidence. When you reconnect, whether through text or in person, you need to approach it like you're catching up with an old friend, not like a guy who's been sitting around waiting for this moment. If she texts you, don't overthink it. Respond calmly, casually, and naturally. Keep the conversation light, fun, and relaxed. No desperate energy, no passive-aggressive comments, no pressure. This isn't about laying all your cards out on the table. This is about showing up as someone who's comfortable and happy, with or without her. If you run into her in person, don't make it a big deal. Smile, stay relaxed, and show up as the best version of yourself. Let her feel the shift in your energy. Let her see, without you having to say a word, that you've changed. Let her see that you're no longer the person she knew. This is the moment where she'll start questioning everything. And here's a golden rule to live by. Don't bring up the past unless she does. A lot of guys make the mistake of diving into emotions too soon, either apologizing, rehashing old problems, or trying to force some deep, emotional heart-to-heart. Bad move. The past is exactly that, past. It doesn't need to be revisited, especially not right away. If she asks how you've been, don't give her a long, drawn-out explanation about everything that's happened. Keep it short and intriguing. Hit her with something simple like, "Life's been good. Been working on some exciting things." That's it. No over-explaining. No unloading all your feelings. Let her curiosity take over. If you give her just enough to keep her interested, she'll naturally want to know more. And when she does, that's when the real attraction starts building. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When she sees that you're still the same person at your core, but now leveled up in confidence, purpose, and energy, that's when she starts feeling drawn back in. She'll notice the difference and it'll intrigue her. But here's the catch. You're not drawing her in by chasing her. You're drawing her in because she feels the difference in you. You've leveled up and she can't help but notice. And by then, you might find that you don't even want her back anymore. At the end of the day, this whole process was never about trying to make her miss you. It was never about playing mind games, acting cold, or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about becoming someone who's so centered in their own life, so confident and independent that she simply can't ignore you. The moment you stop chasing, stop waiting, and start focusing on your own growth, everything shifts. You stop wondering what she's thinking, and suddenly, she's the one wondering about you. The second you redirect your energy from needing her validation to bettering yourself, she will feel that change. She'll begin to wonder what's different about you. She'll start questioning her decisions and reconsidering the space she put between you two. And by the time she does, you'll be too busy leveling up to even care about what she's thinking. If you found this insight valuable, make sure to subscribe to The Girl's Mind for more wisdom on mastering your life and attraction. Until next time, stay strong, stay centered, and always remember, the key to attraction isn't in chasing, it's in being. But for those of you who are serious about stepping up and taking control, I've created a one-on-one chat with me. Choose your package and let's solve any problem you're facing, whether it's crushing your goals or handling that conversation with a girl.